Okay, first of all, I want to give credit to Leon Rice and Boise State. I'm a big fan of Coach Rice, and I just think he does a great job. They have a great program, and they're a very good basketball team. Secondly, I was driving here, and I got a flat tire. Somehow I made it, and all I said is, please, we got to win this game, because how am I going to sit here till 2 in the morning to get my tire changed, and I've got to figure it out, which I will. We can't lose the game because who knows? I can't mentally handle that, waiting around for a flat tire. So thank the good Lord. Thank the good Lord that He answered my prayers on that, be able to win the game, so I can sit here for a few hours until I get my tire changed. Third, it was a gritty win. I've talked to our guys, and listen. I've said this many times. You look at the success of, and I've studied the UNLV program for the history, and obviously I've said about the, Coach Tarkanian and Coach Lon Kruger and Coach Rice and those guys. Especially during that run with the 80s and 90s with Coach Tarkanian, and so much of it was about you win games through grit and toughness. And that's the whole thing that we have to try to establish here, is that we've got to be so gritty. We've got to have such great toughness. Yes, you've got to have some talent, obviously, but you've got to find a way deep inside to just be such an elite competitor and have such great grit, such great toughness. You got to be a fighter, and that's the only way I know how to live. That's my whole entire life. And if somebody's not like that, I'm not aligned. And so I'm just like, that's how it's got to be. And we found a way through grit, through some toughness. It was not pretty. But we found a way to get a win. Let me just say this, end of regulation, 2 things. One is I was not comfortable fouling up 3 because we have not been great at free throw line box out this year. And they had just got a free throw line box out rebound just a few possessions before that it went out of bounds on us. And when you foul, you bring losing involved, because and I was concerned. They foul, they make the first free throw, miss the second, you get an offensive rebound, tip out, and they hit a 3 and you lose the game. Worst case scenario is you go 5 minutes and you get to play overtime. Second thing is, in the huddle, we said we were switching 1 through 5, and on number 20, we're gonna play on the high side and not let him catch it. Make him cut back door. I love Jacob. Love him dearly. It was just a brain freeze there for a quick second. He played underneath him and he let the kid get a shot. But I went right to the huddle and said, hey guys, we get to play 5 more minutes. We get to play 5 more minutes. Let's figure it out. We've been good in close games. We won Stanford, St. Joe's. This game, we've been pretty good in close games for the most part. And I said, we're going to have to grime it. We're going to have to be grimy. We're going to have to grit this out. We're going to have to tough this out. And then we did a nice job in responding. And then, of course, Emmanuel whether that was a foul or not, how he acted was unacceptable. Emmanuel's an emotional young man. And he did a lot of good for us today. Him and Jacob both got assigned the bubble based on the rebounding. We had 40 total rebounds, 14 offensive rebounds. Boise State's a great rebounding team, and we were +7 on the glass. So that was a big thing for us about the combat zone and the paint there. But I was disappointed in Emmanuel's response. Obviously, we had to get him out. I told him my piece on that. But again, we had to find a way to respond. And then, of course, you're thinking like Dre misses those 2 free throws, but we were able to get stops. I've been very hard on Kamani Hamilton, and late in the game, he made some big plays, made big free throws, and had some couple big defensive rebounds. I thought Dravian Gibbs-Lawhorn was about as good as you could be. We try to do some different things to get the ball in his hand for a lot of the game, and he responded. I thought Howie Fleming made some big shots for us. And what can I say about Tyron Jones defensively? He just keeps getting better and better and better. It was a gritty, gutty win. It wasn't easy. And as I told the managers as I was walking through, don't get into coaching because it's not good for the heart. But it was a great win. So go Rebels.
Any questions? How far did you drive with a flat tire here?
Yeah, I couldn't even. I mean, I would have if I had to pull over in the highway, I would have just ran in my suit. I didn't care. I mean, it didn't bother me. But what you see with me is what you get. I go to work. I go to practice. I work. I love the job. I don't even look at a job, and then I go home and be with my wife and kids. There's nothing else I do in my life. So and I like to work out. That's the only other thing I like to do that's not the job or my family. So if I had to get over, if it wasn't going to get there, I got here. But if I had to pull off and just run here, I would have ran here because to me, I would have had to tell the guys like I'm talking about, you better be gritty and tough. Your head coach can't be not gritty and tough. And so I would have just pulled over and ran here if I couldn't I would have found a way to get here. Wouldn't have mattered. I would have ran right down 215.
When they reviewed
I'm being serious. I would have ran right down the highway. No, I would have just ran in my coat and tie.
When they reviewed the flagrant foul towards the end of regulation, did you think they were reviewing the foul period?
No, they were reviewing the flagrant. I knew they were, because Coach Rice, which I guess, and I have the utmost respect for Coach Rice. I think he's one of the best coaches in the game and one of the best people, and he's a good friend. But I was like, I saw it. What happened? They ran into each other. So I was like, what are we doing? Let's get on the game here and let us get to the free throw line. So that's where I got on the officials about that. But they were good. The officials told me to get back. I got back, and that was that.
Coach, can you talk about just Kamani's bounce back game, just how clutch he was for you guys tonight?
Yeah, look, as I mentioned, I've been hard on him. Listen, this isn't a plays game. This is a players game, and your guys, your best players that you're counting on got to be studs. And I've been on him about that hard. And I've always, for him, all the guys, I'm a big believer that here, the standards here, I am not lowering my standard to you. Like it's your responsibility to raise your standard to what I have for you. And I know we're not exactly pretty and perfect, and we got some things we got to keep getting better at. But we just got to keep, for our team to be successful, for the culture to be what we want to, so we can get where we want to get to. We've got to learn to be gritty, tough, every second of the way. And Kamani, when he's that way, he's really good. If he has any coolness, cuteness, casualness, you're going to get beat, and you're not going to play at a high level. It's about toughness and grit and fight. Yes, you got to have a baseline of talent. So towards the end there, Paloma, he was at a high level. He was at a high level of grit, toughness, and fight, and compete. But there are some times when he shoots three. I'm like, hey man, stop shooting the three. Like in your mind, it's got to be attack mentality. Everything's attack mentality. Get downhill. Because if you just are playing cool, casual, or cute, you're going to get beat. And he late in the game, he really came through for us with toughness and grit.
Dre obviously took control of the court tonight, but then he was also getting onto Isaac at one timeout, just telling him to kind of shape up. Talk to me about how he stepped up as a role model even in tight games.
Yeah, I mean, Dre was great for us. By the way, she tried to convince me on yesterday at the media day I need to do Pilates. I mean, there's no way in heck can I do Pilates or yoga. It's too slow. So maybe I need to do it after this game. I don't know. But let me just say this. Dre's leadership I thought he would, look, he's learning to play point guard. He's learning to play how to be a point guard. This is new for him. He didn't play a lot last year at Illinois. He didn't play anything his freshman year. So this is new for him. We got a bunch of guys who didn't play a lot last year in some areas. So, it's new for him. But he was getting on Isaac because, look, I think Isaac Williamson was going to be really good, but he had a couple freshman mistakes, including on both sides of the ball. But Dre, I thought, stood up as in terms of a leader and was trying to course correct him, keep his head in it. And Isaac handled it well. Isaac was he took coaching and was tough about it and was good. And I'm a big fan of Isaac Williamson. He's going to be a really good player. But Dre was good. And I thought Howie Fleming gave us some really good, tough, hard-nosed minutes as well, too, just in the entire game. There was a stretch there we had to come out based on his because he was cramping. But he came up with some tough, hard-nosed, 2 feet, two-hand rebounds, stuck his nose in there and was good for us.
Toughness has been brought up a lot when discussing this game. Tyron Jones said something along the lines of players play, tough players win. And just for him to play so tough towards the end, down the stretch and overtime, come up with those big defensive stops, what do you think that does for him and his confidence moving forward?
Yeah, listen, Tyron Jones is only going to get better and better and better. I mean, he's only scratching the surface. And I tell the guys all the time, players play, tough players win. And like I said, if you're not tough, I can't be aligned. Like it's hard for me to understand when someone's not, tough. Like I don't believe you can't be in the fetal position and just and get knocked down and sit there. You got to find a way to fight back and be a fighter and have a grit and toughness about you. That's just what I believe in my DNA. And early on, Tyron didn't have that, and he's starting to understand that. And he's starting to continue to understand about like every second, I call it EPIP. Every possession is precious, man. You got to play it like you got to exhaust every ounce of energy that you have, and you've got to play multiple effort plays, and he's understanding that. Now, with that continues to come you got to learn now how to be disciplined with that intensity, but he's just getting better and better and better. I thought the crowd was good today, but the crowd loves Tyron. Obviously, he's a local. He's a Las Vegas young man. He's a Las Vegas native. And they appreciate how he plays, his toughness with his shot blocking, his multiple effort. And he just is getting better every time he steps on the floor. His ceiling is so high, and he's a high character young man that just wants to continue to get better.
Sorry. And, 2 real quick. I think you already answered the first one. When Tyron dropped that, we thought it was at a bar, but that's a Josh Pastner quote. Players play, tough players win.
I say that all the time.
So he just took that from me.
Yeah. I mean, because he's regurgitating what I'm saying, which is good that he was able to say that, because if you ask the guys, that's, I'm on that. I always talk about scheme and strategy secondary compared to toughness and fight and grit. Like that's all that other stuff is well and good, but you better be a fighter, or the talent doesn't matter. You've got to, in this league, at this level, man, everyone's good. Everybody's good. Everyone's got good coaches, good players. The separator is the toughness and grit factor.
And the other one, you mentioned the up 3 strategy being specific to your team, not great boxing out at the free throw line. I guess your general principle would be based on your team and the matchup more so than just.
That's right. I mean, in the past, I have fouled in some of my past teams, but I just felt with this group, we just had given up a free throw line. Jacob has gotten so much better. He has really, really improved. I mean, he's from where he was when I first met him in April to where he's night and day, and he's going to continue. I mean, this is really his first year he's ever really played. But he just, for whatever reason, and I got to take responsibility because maybe it wasn't fully understood in the timeout. Anyone knows me, I repeat myself about 10 times. So I've got to be more clear on that. The great news, we were able to win and can clean that up. But we wanted him to be on the top side we knew they were going to try to go to 20, make 20 go back door, and it's fine. Maybe looking back on it, maybe should have gone smaller lineup, had him out, gone with a smaller guy, and put Kamani or Tyron on 20. But I went with Jacob for the rebounding because he is for the most part, he can be a good defensive rebounder. And for the free throw shooting. So I felt if they missed it and he got the foul and they fouled him, there's a chance for him going to the free throw line, and he's got a nice touch. Free throw line. But we'll have to evaluate on fouling or not. But I just felt at this point it wasn't best for us to foul. And here's the other thing that I also told us to the staff. The new continuation rules like the NBA. You drive it's not like the old days where you foul and he can and it's an automatic just 1-on-1. If you foul him and he takes a step to shoot it, it's an automatic 3 shots, assuming he's behind the 3-point line. So that I told our staff that was the other thing. All of a sudden a guy comes in and you foul and he takes a step and shoots it, it's 3 shots. It's not like it was in the past. That rule has changed to make it more similar to the NBA. So if a guy comes and you foul and he just acts like he's going up to shoot it, it's an automatic 3 shots. That's a black and white rule and a point of emphasis in NCAA Division I college basketball.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks everybody.
through that, and then also you obviously went over to the crowd and
Yeah.
you're excited too. I guess what went on that play? Just kind of.
You know, the blocks, I seen that. I was in my position, so the dude drove, and I was blessed enough to be there to get the block.
He saved me. He really saved me.
It's just moments like that that bring like the crowd together, bring the team together. It's beautiful moments like that.
Dre, 33 points for you tonight. That's a career high, I believe. You were over there talking to Isaac in the second half, just kind of telling him to shape up. What were you saying? I know you've kind of taken him under your wing. Just take us through that.
I was just telling him how good of a basketball player he is. You know, I understand his emotions and what he goes through, especially being a freshman. You know, I was the same way. But, you know, the earlier I can get him to learn that, like, bro, look, next possession, you're going to play. You're going to have more opportunities. Like, I tell him every day, bro, every freshman, and same with Tyron, every freshman wish for these two opportunities that you guys have. So, bro, just take advantage of it and keep your head up and go through it with a smile, man.
For both players, just what difference did you see in the facility, lock in, focus, coming back from the road trip?
Well, we seen some fans. In my opinion, we seen some fans, bro. That was awesome, you know. Finally having some energy that's just not from us in there, you know, that felt amazing. So thank you guys to the supporters and to the fans. And, you know, from us, I feel like we finally just, for a whole 40 minutes, we finally played just energized, you know, charged up.
Dre, obviously career high in scoring tonight, but what I wanted to talk about was obviously your passing and your growth in the point guard position, or in the point guard role, I should say. I think the team only had 6 assists in the first half. They all came from you. How do you feel in that role? How much more comfortable do you feel considering you've had a little bit of time to grow in that role?
You know, I feel a lot better, especially from the start of the year. Shout out to Coach Passner for that because he really put his hand on me and helped me, you know, get through those ups and downs of having to play point guard. You know, I'm still not satisfied, though. You know, I want to have a game where I have like 10, 12 assists. You know, that's what the best point guards do.
And Tyron, what did you guys learn from the last 2-game road trip that you guys will be able to implement and obviously have more success on the next 2-game road trip?
I feel like the last 2 road trips, it was just we didn't really know what to expect. You know, we came out there, we haven't really played back-to-back games like that. So I feel like since we got used to it, our next 2 road games it's gonna be really something because we have a good feel for the court, good feel for the game now since we're coming back to our, and this is a good win too to get us back boosted. You know.
For Dre, what was the matchup like against Andrews? Because you guys were talking a lot throughout the game, and then he didn't really play down the stretch.
You know, it was a good matchup, honestly. You know, 2 competitors. Shout out to Andrews as well. You know, he's a great player. I played against him multiple times. Played against him when he was at UCLA. Played against him when he was at AZ Compass. You know, every time we match up, it's always a competition. You know, so shout out to him.
Can you guys both talk about the physicality inside? I mean, you had to deal with it when you got inside, but for Tyron too, they were really physical. I thought Fielder kind of pushed you guys around in the first half, and you got more stout in the second.
Yeah, they were very physical for sure. But one thing Coach has been, you know, harping on us about is just combat zone. Under the circle, we call it combat zone, you know. So, you know, just getting in there, fighting without fouling and being clean, you know. And we did that at a high level tonight, in my opinion.
And our biggest thing is just getting lower to the ground so we have more space to move around. It's just when you're standing straight up, it's kind of easier to get hit. But if we're getting low, we're able to move around and bump with those big guys down there.
For both of you, it's been a roller coaster of a season, wins and then losses. How are you guys going to keep this momentum moving forward?
You know, really just put it in the first things first. You know, we're a brotherhood. We're a big family, you know. So no matter how many times we win, no matter how many times we lose, the goal is to, you know, have fun with it and just love each other, you know. So no matter how it goes, I mean, of course, if we just keep playing with that energy, you know, it's going to be, I feel like it'll be a great rest of the way. But no matter how it goes, I'm just happy to be with my brothers.
I mean, players play, but tough players win. So I feel like we're all tough players. So we all come out every night just fiending just to win games and play hard and just pass the ball, share the ball. Because, you know, an environment like this is just, it's fun winning. It's fun having the crowd come. It's just, we want to bring it back up and just continue momentum, win games.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.